You see, people think karma is some distant force, some faraway justice that might never come. Oh, how wrong they are. It's not waiting in the shadows. It's not hiding behind corners. It's right here, breathing down their necks, counting every little game they played, every lie they told, every wound they inflicted. And now it's time to collect. They never saw it coming, did they? They were too busy playing their little games, setting their little traps, thinking they were oh so clever, oh so untouchable. But here's the thing about karma. It doesn't play games. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't show mercy. It simply delivers what they deserve, served cold on a platter they crafted themselves. You know what makes me laugh? The way they panic when it all starts falling apart. The way their eyes widen, their hands shake, their voices tremble when they realize that everything they did, every single dirty little trick, every backstab, every betrayal, it's all coming back. It's like watching a master chess player suddenly realize they've been playing against themselves all along, and every move they made, every piece they sacrificed was just setting up their own checkmate. Poetic, isn't it? They thought they were writing your story, didn't they? Thought they could control the narrative, bend reality to their will, make you dance to their tune like some broken puppet on strings. But karma? Oh, karma has a way of rewriting scripts. It takes their carefully crafted plots, their meticulously planned schemes, and turns them into something else entirely. A tragedy, but not yours. No, no, no. This tragedy is all theirs, written in the ink of their own actions, directed by their own choices, starring them as the architects of their own destruction. The beautiful thing about karma is its patience. It doesn't rush, doesn't hurry. It takes its time, letting them build their houses of cards higher and higher, letting them think they're safe behind their walls of lies and deception. And then, just when they're standing at the top, admiring their handiwork, feeling invincible, that's when it strikes. Not with thunder and lightning, no. It starts small, a tiny crack in their perfect facade, a small hole in their carefully woven web of deceit. And before they know it, everything they built, everything they schemed and plotted for, starts crumbling around them. Watch them now, scrambling to hold on to their crumbling empire, trying to patch the holes in their sinking ship. It's fascinating, really, how they still don't see it. They're looking everywhere for someone to blame, pointing fingers, making excuses, spinning new lies to cover the old ones. But they won't find what they're looking for, because the enemy they're fighting isn't out there. It's in every choice they made, every person they hurt, every rule they broke, thinking they were above the consequences. You want to know the real joke? They did this to themselves. Every step of the way, they had a choice. They could have chosen differently, could have taken the high road, could have played fair, but they didn't. They chose to play dirty, chose to break the rules, chose to hurt others for their own gain. And now they're learning the hard way that karma doesn't care about their intentions, their excuses, their justifications. It only cares about balance, about settling accounts, about making sure that what goes around comes around. And here you are, watching it all unfold. You didn't have to lift a finger, didn't have to plot revenge, didn't have to stoop to their level. You just had to wait, had to stay strong, had to keep moving forward while they dug their own graves. That's the beauty of karma. It doesn't need your help to deliver justice. It works in its own way, in its own time, turning their own weapons against them, using their own strength as their weakness, their own success as their downfall. They never understood the fundamental truth about karma. It's not about punishment, it's about balance. Every action creates a ripple. Every choice sets things in motion. And sooner or later, those ripples come back. Those choices bear fruit. They thought they could control the waves, thought they could direct the current, but that's not how the universe works. The more they tried to control, the more they lost control. The more they tried to manipulate, the more they became tangled in their own web. Look at them now. Truly look at them. See how their confidence crumbles, how their arrogance turns to fear, how their smugness gives way to desperation. This is what happens when karma comes calling, when the bill for all their games finally comes due. They're not so proud now, are they? Not so sure of themselves, not so quick to play their games. Because now, they're learning what you knew all along, that every game has its price. Every action has its consequence, and no one escapes the balance of karma. This is just the beginning. You know, karma isn't done with them yet. It's just getting started, just warming up, just showing them a glimpse of what's to come. And the best part? All you have to do is watch. Watch as their carefully constructed world falls apart. Watch as their lies catch up with them. Watch as they face the consequences of every choice they made, every person they hurt, every rule they broke. Because that's the thing about karma. It always delivers, always collects, always balances the scales. And now it's their turn to pay the price. There's a moment, right before the fall, when they finally see it. The grand design, the perfect symmetry, the inevitable conclusion to their own story. It hits them like a bolt of lightning, this sudden understanding that every string they pulled, every game they played, every person they tried to break, was just another piece in karma's elaborate puzzle. And oh, what a masterpiece it turns out to be. They stand there, frozen in this moment of clarity, watching as their carefully constructed world starts to spin in reverse. Every action they took now becoming a wound they must bear. The universe has such an exquisite sense of timing, doesn't it? Waiting until they're at their highest point, their moment of supreme confidence, before it starts to unravel everything they built. Like a spider watching its prey struggle in the web, karma waited patiently while they entangled themselves deeper and deeper in their own lies, their own schemes, their own delusions of invincibility. Now they're so thoroughly wrapped up in it all that every move they make just tightens the snare around them. You can see the recognition dawning in their eyes now, that slow burning realization that they're not the authors of this story anymore, if they ever were. They're just characters in a play they didn't know they were writing, actors in a tragedy of their own making. Every cruel word they spoke has become a script they must now recite back to themselves. Every pain they inflicted has transformed into a scene they must now perform. Every betrayal they orchestrated has turned into a role they must now play. But this time, they're the ones being betrayed. The poetry of it all would bring tears to your eyes if it wasn't so perfectly deserved. Watch how they stumble now, these once mighty puppeteers, as their own strings wrap around their ankles. See how they gasp for air, these people who try to suffocate others with their toxic presence. Observe how they plead for mercy, these same souls who showed none when they held power. It's not revenge you're witnessing, it's restoration, balance, the universal scales finding their equilibrium. Their desperation has a certain music to it now, a symphony of falling empires and crumbling thrones. Listen closely and you can hear it, the sound of their excuses turning to ash in their mouths, their lies dissolving like sugar in rain, their power evaporating like morning dew under a merciless sun. They're conducting an orchestra of their own demise, and every note is a consequence they can no longer avoid. Every chord is a debt coming due. Every melody is a price they must finally pay. The real beauty of karma isn't in the fall, it's in the recognition. That moment when they finally understand that every wound they inflicted was really a seed they planted in their own future. Every person they tried to destroy became a mirror, reflecting their own destruction. Every game they played became a rule in the cosmic court, and now judgment is being passed using their own standards, their own measures, their own definitions of justice. They're running out of places to hide now, aren't they? Every shadow they used for cover has become a spotlight. Every mask they wore has turned to glass. Every lie they told has transformed into a truth they can't escape. The same walls they built to keep others out are now keeping them trapped inside with their consequences. The same weapons they used to hurt others have grown edges that cut both ways. The same fire they lit to burn others is now the only light by which they can see their own reflection. Look at them closely now. See how their arrogance dissolves into fear, how their confidence crumbles into doubt, how their power melts into weakness. This is karma's greatest lesson, written in the language of consequences, spelled out in the alphabet of their own actions. Every chapter of pain they wrote for others has become a volume in their own story. Every tear they caused is now a drop in the ocean that's drowning them. Every heart they broke is now a crack in their own foundation. Time bends differently when karma takes the stage, stretching moments into eternities, compressing years into heartbeats. Like a predator playing with its prey, it lets them taste hope, lets them believe in escape, lets them cling to their illusions of control. But now the game is ending, and they're finally seeing karma for what it truly is. Not some distant threat, not some abstract concept, but a force woven into the very fabric of existence. It's in the air they breathe, the ground they walk on, the blood in their veins. They're learning, they're learning now, that you can no more escape karma than you can outrun your own heartbeat, outthink your own thoughts, or outdance your own shadow. It's not just coming for them. It's already here, has always been here, waiting in every choice they made, every lie they told, every wound they inflicted, growing stronger with every tick of the clock. And here's the punchline they never saw coming. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to plot, didn't have to scheme, didn't have to lower yourself to their level. You just had to stand firm, stay true, keep your dignity while they lost theirs. Your strength wasn't in fighting back. It was in standing tall, in refusing to break, in maintaining your integrity while they sacrificed theirs. You became the mirror that showed them their true selves, the light that cast their shadows, the truth that exposed their lies. So let them thrash against the inevitable. Let them rage against the coming of their own night. Let them scream into the void they created. Let them pound their fists against the walls they built. Their time has come. Their games are over. Their power is gone. This is karma's stage now, and they're just players in its production, acting out the final scenes of a story they wrote with every choice, every action, every moment they thought they were above the laws of the universe. Watch as it all comes full circle, as every debt is paid, every account settled, every balance restored. This isn't just justice, it's poetry written in the language of consequences, a symphony composed in the key of cosmic balance, a dance choreographed by the universe itself. And you get to witness it all, standing untouched by their chaos, unmoved by their pleas, unshaken by their fall. Because that's the ultimate truth they never understood. Karma doesn't need your help to deliver its message. It just needs time, patience, and the absolute certainty that in the end, everything comes back around.